want to give you my thoughts on the new notebooking pages they have for Preparing Hearts for His Glory from Heart of Dakota. Hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. If you're new here, I'm a homeschool mom of 4 boys, ages 9 to 19, and we right now are using the curriculum from Heart of Dakota, Preparing Hearts for His Glory, for my 4th grader. And they have some new notebooking pages out that I just showed you for the new guide. So I want to share that I am using this with the old guide, and we have had no trouble at all doing that. I have used Heart of Dakota. This is our 3rd time using it, my 4th child. But I really feel like, I say this, but I truly feel like it would be no problem. But if you can, I would purchase the new book, because a new crisp book is always fun. And especially if you have more children coming up that will use the book. But we enjoy these pages. I want to open up and show you what they look like. I'm also going to show you another option that we have used in the past before these pages came out, in case you do have the old book and you're just not confident or you don't want to spend the extra money. Also, they don't have pages for science and like poetry and things like that. So I'll show you what we use and have used in the past. I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, here is the notebooking pages that you can purchase with the Preparing Hearts for His Glory. And I just want to show you what they have and tell you how we feel about them. This is just sort of a cover page that you can put on your notebook. They have different sections and sort of divide it up. This first section is the written narration, and it really does have some beautiful pictures. And they only write in this once a week. It's on the 4th day when they talk about, and you see, my son hasn't even written in every single one of them. But when they talk about the last story, they will narrate it to you, and they need to write something down. For me, I usually write it on the board or like a small whiteboard that he can copy. But whatever he narrates to me is what we try to write down. So just going to flip through. So it just has little sections for the 35 units. And that would be the narration. So that's separate. Then you have the vocabulary. And that is a once a week box that gets switched out with geography. I'm looking geography, research, and timeline. Actually, I'm just having to remember. And timeline. So the vocabulary is mentioned once a week in whatever reading that you did that day. And it would be words that you have read to them that day. And they give you the option. So that first week, you would only do this one time. And I mean, that's all we do. So you can draw it. You can give a definition. You can give a sentence. You can do all 3. We really discuss a lot, probably more. I mean, he got pretty creative in this page, talking about sulfur. But, so we do talk about it with the different things. We may even look up something like an actual picture, if that is necessary. Let's see. We don't even actually make him do it every week. I remember last week talking about all these words, but we didn't fill it in. But we had good conversations. Grim, and even I remember him asking what is gnashing, because the Bible says Jesus' enemies begin to gnash their teeth at Stephen. So it just really depends on your time and how much writing was already done. I don't push my son to the limit. I want it to be enjoyable, and if it's really he's sincerely wondering what this is and we're talking about it, sometimes I let that be. But each parent's different. I think these pages are great because he actually did this today and enjoyed it. We talked about eyewitnesses. They saw it for themselves. The gospel. He just drew a picture of and wrote Bible in there. And then stocks. And there was a picture of this in the book we read. And he was like, oh, I know what that is. Once we talked about it and explained it. It's not an overly joyous picture, but I didn't make him write a definition about it. And then a couple correspondence that was really talked about today in the story and being skeptical. So, and he was fine. He actually wanted to look through them and write them down. So every day is different what we decide we're going to do or not do. But we definitely at least talk about what they are. And a lot of times I may talk about a word he asks about and it ends up being the definition. So that works out. So that is 2 of the sections. The third section is the timeline. And I just put these little tags here, time, vocabulary. So it's easy for me to turn to. And he's really enjoyed these. He doesn't mind drawing a picture, and I try not to be too particular. Sometimes if I think he's not unsure, I might draw a picture on the board or on a piece of paper or something, just to give him a little start. Okay, this is sort of what they're asking. And like the founding of Rome, and that's his boot. So, but I thought, like, he got very detailed on this, building in Greece. And sometimes it might just be a little man. So, but that's okay. This was Saul's conversion today on the road to Damascus. So with the blinding light and a little tiny horse and a little tiny man. So we enjoy these a lot. We pull these out and make sure he goes through those. So, and there's nothing on them with dates. Now, probably the biggest thing is let's see if I can find the first page. I don't have the intro page for this, but this would be the independent study. And I think I've talked about this. I mean, I've talked about these pages in videos when we do it for like a week but I just wanted to make sure that you understand you're getting each section. So the independent study would be down here. They write verses, they draw pictures, whatever book they're on. It's going to be so different throughout the year. This is at the beginning. We used a lot from Draw Right Now. So we did a lot more artwork at the beginning. And this is Unit 7, Unit 10, and even Unit 9. But then he does a lot of verses, some cursive copy work he probably did out of the Draw Right Now, because they also have everything in there is cursive, so he would write about it. Like here, we didn't even do this. I think we looked at it and we talked about his quotes, but I can write it. So it gets to be quite different throughout the year. And let's see, some of this he didn't even do. Well, maybe we just haven't got there yet. 21, yeah. So, I don't know if it gets back. It's just going to get more and more in depth. Medieval castle. That looks interesting. So I do love the pictures and in here. So I wanted to share those with you and tell you that we have really actually enjoyed them this year. This is my first year doing this and my third year using the Preparing Hearts for His Glory. Now, this is the old book. Yes, it can be used with the old book. We have not minded that at all. But I wanted to share this. These are the pages that you can get off the Facebook group page, Heart of Dakota, Preparing Hearts for His Glory. And this was Unit 22. And I was trying to compare the nice thing about this is, of course, the paper is a little easier to write on. Let me show you what kind of pen. He likes to use these when he's drawing, but I do not let him use them in the notebook because they smear. These are a little expensive, but if you could just pull it out for writing in the notebooks, it's actually probably the best one, which is the zebra. I'm trying to see if I can see it. It's a little bit faded. I know they're the zebra. I actually got a pack of these at Sam's because I personally like them for my own self, but they work great for the notebook pages. And if you mess up, I just tell them to scribble it and just keep on going. It's okay. It's okay. Just encourage them to do their best. And it's hard because I grew up perfectionist. If you're back when I was in school, everything had to be written perfectly on a sheet of paper in cursive, and you made one mess up, you just crumpled it up and started all over. That's just what I did. So I understand that point, but when you have your own children, you learn to think, it's okay, it's all right. So it's not going to change anything. But I did want to share these with you. So this would be now this is day 4, so this would be comparable. Gives you a lot more space to write on. And something like this, I would definitely you'd want them to skip lines. And you could even, just mark it where you want them to to write. So they would know. I do, just trying to give you some hints of things I do for my son, especially if they're younger. Now this is some copy work, page 26, first 3 sentences. Now I want to let you know, I don't have a color printer, and this is in color. You can print this in color, which when I first did this the first couple times, I had a color printer, so my boys, we did use these pages, did have a color printer. It even tells you what book you're reading out of, and it's, not color, and so I can't even tell. But I think this would be the Vikings, because this is down into Unit 23, and I think we start the Vikings book then, and going by what I can tell of the black and white picture. So, even here, if it's a paragraph, you could even go in like that, and then just make sure they are working on that. Here, this is 21. This has actually gone back a little bit. Yeah. So just trying to give you a little bit idea. You can get on the site, you can look at these, and you do not have to print them off. But there is an option. They actually have vocabulary pages, which are same idea. They give you the words. They give you a little tiny spot to draw in and some lines to write a definition. And it's just like this, black and white, except I think there's 4 boxes or maybe 6. I would say 4 because, well, no, there's 6 words each week. So there's probably 6 boxes. I wish I would have printed that one out for you, but that is available. I'm just trying to show you that everything, the written narration would be available. The vocabulary would be available on there. The timeline, I don't know if that was available, and the independent study would be in the same pages as the history notebook pages. And then also, something that we are not doing this year, I really wanted to, was the poetry, and I even had the pages printed out. And yes, they are pages that I printed off from the files under that Facebook group. So there you go. And well, he started it. We tried, but we didn't stay on top of it. I was just giving you an idea what they look like. So tells you what to do each day, and it really has the pages. I think it talks about rain and snow. We have done these in the past with a couple of the other boys. I don't think I did it every time, but we have done it. So I do know that the pages go well with what it tells you to do each day. And that makes it so helpful that it's already so available like that. But now keep in mind the poetry is not a part of the notebooking pages. It's just the narration, the vocab, the timeline, and the independent study. I want to be sure I make that clear. So that's what you purchase when you get the notebook pages. Before I forget, I also want to mention that under that same group, under the files, they also have the science. I will list below these particular pages because there is a huge long list. So I'll list the name and the person and the date. And and I think I mentioned earlier in one of my other videos that these are in color too. So this is what it would look like in color, which I really enjoy when they're in color, and it tells you what science book you're using at the time. And I really do like these notebook pages. This is way back, making sure you can see. So this is going to be with Leonardo, and that's tells you what book. Here's back with Albert Einstein. So we enjoy those. I've used those for all of my boys. They used to have them under the files when they used to do a Yahoo group. So, okay, I hope that was helpful and insightful to someone that was looking into this curriculum. And if you have any questions, please post them below. And if you like this type of content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.